I went undercover for one whole week to try and make as much money as possible just by editing. As a YouTuber with over 300,000 subscribers who makes editing specific videos, getting a high-paying editing job would be relatively easy.
That's very kind of you.
However, most people don't have this luxury, and I want to challenge myself by stepping into someone else's shoes and starting from the very bottom.
Oh, here we go again.
Everything, my identity, my showreel, and all of my social media accounts are gonna have to be created from scratch in the next few days. The only thing I have on my side is my experience as an editor. So how much money can I earn in a week as an absolute nobody?
I'm making dollars off of one project. He still has no idea who I am. So, this is pretty good.
This video has been sponsored by Storyblocks. More on that later. So at 9 o'clock on Monday morning, I began. Now, if you follow my channel, then you know that I've previously done this challenge, but just for 24 hours, and ended up only making a few dollars. This time I've given myself a lot longer to show what being a full-time editor could really look like, and giving myself more of a chance to find a potentially lucrative job. So with all of that in mind, I began straight away creating an AI avatar. Having done this before really helped, as I already had an idea of what kinds of prompts I should be using in Photoshop's AI generation tool. As you can see, having professional profile of a gamer man really just seemed to hit the nail on the head. So I ran with this guy.
I think we found our guy.
And here I face my first real challenge. Naming this guy. This guy. That guy. That guy edits! That guy edits! It's perfect. I mean, it just rolls straight off the tongue. It's like a cool username. It's not too personal, and it sounds professional. So with that massive box ticked already, the first thing I did was create a Discord account and then start making the showreel. Now, making the showreel is the most important part of this whole journey because everything I do here is going to affect the rest of my career, however short term it is. In my head, this is literally what is going to decide how much money I make. So I really did take my time doing this. I was prepared to give up the whole first day just to make a sick showreel.
It's me, baby! Sisman Finn!
Oh! I thought you were,
yeah!
I thought you were dead! I thought you were dead!
I'm gonna stay up here! Oh! I didn't see you there. Now let me tell you a story. Blocks! Have you ever wanted to go to Tokyo? Or space? Inside the human brain? Or even Delaware? I'm in Delaware. Then Storyblocks is the subscription service for you, offering you unlimited downloads of high-quality footage.
At one set price.
Yes. Well, you know what this needs, guys? More story. Blocks! Because Storyblocks offers over 1 million curated assets, including footage, templates, music, and sound effects. Oh man, that sucks. I'm really sorry about that, dude. But I could cheer you up with a story. Blocks! Because Storyblocks makes finding and using its assets super simple. And best of all, you're legally covered for all of the assets that you use. So download and use as much as you want. To get started with unlimited stock media downloads at one set price, head to storyblocks.com/Finzar or hit the link in the description. Oh, I'm with my friends! Yeah, oh.
Now, because I wanted this challenge to represent a real working week, I did take a few breaks throughout the day. As important as it is to do the work, it's also equally important to take a break every now and again. Because, I gotta say it again, editor's block is a real thing, and it's so easy to get hit by it. So on this day, I went for a nice walk, watched some Love is Blind. Don't watch that. And then, feeling refreshed, got back on with the job at hand. So I went onto Discord and joined my own Discord server, the Finiverse, and decided to just have a look around. There were a few voice chats going on, which I joined, and I just happened to make a friend there. This guy's Premiere Pro was glitching out and he was asking for help. Now, even though I couldn't help him, we did end up going into a DM and talking about it. I know it sounds shit, but it was just nice to talk to another editor and just kind of both be annoyed at it together. It was kind of cathartic.
I'm gonna try and finish the showreel as soon as possible now, and then I can start really applying to all sorts of places. I'm really taking my time with the showreel because I want it to be great. I think the better your showreel, the more chance you have of getting higher paying clients.
Having finished the showreel a couple of hours later, using basically only my presets and some gaming footage as material, I was on to finding actual editing jobs. Now thankfully in my Discord server there's a whole job section dedicated to people like me right now. So finding job listings was easy enough, but the challenge is getting seen, especially as someone who has only just joined Discord today and hasn't got anything to their portfolio other than a new showreel. Also shout out to this guy who said my server is the #1 server for finding editing jobs.
The best one on this list is the Finzar. I've been in here for a couple.
I've sent off most of the stuff that I can send. I guess now all I have to do is just wait.
So my luck was in the hands of the editing gods now. And to wind down for the evening, I actually ended up playing a game of Rust with this new friend of mine. Now this guy was just really lovely. I mean, it was really cool just to hang out. We ended up meeting this pirate in the game who was role-playing really hard and just was the most insane character.
Look at my first mate all passed out there on his bed.
He had a little too much of the grog.
Looks like he had a little too much. Yeah.
And with that, it's the end of day 1. Let's hope we find some jobs tomorrow. It was really nice to meet you, dude.
We'll see you later.
Bye-bye now. Yarr! Day 2 started out pretty slow. I had no responses from any of the jobs that I'd applied for, and I was at a loss of things to do.
We've had no jobs overnight. Thank God we've got another 4 days.
So I made a YT Jobs account, which I thought had the potential to bring in a big job if I played my cards right. As usual, I go for my morning walk, which this time around was much less windy.
Time to do some work.
When I got back, I had a response, which completely turned the day around.
I got a job from an English guy. Seems very communicative. I like that. So far, this is actually looking like it's going to be a really nice job. And then hopefully I can get some more jobs from him. That would be awesome.
This guy Dantic wanted me to turn his long-form videos into digestible shorts. For me, that was easy enough. I got straight on with a rough cut by downloading the full video from a clip converter and making a loose plan for what I thought I wanted the video structure to be like. Now, this was a little bit of a risky move, as me, that guy, a complete beginner, sending this YouTuber with over 100k a script telling him how I wanted his video to play out. It could be taken pretty badly. But I trusted in my abilities, and I hoped that he would see the quality of what I could do for him and then take the bait. Lucky for me, he took it much better than I could have ever expected. So with Dan's approval, I made a loose structure with my own secret voiceover to see how it flowed. And it was cold. And it was cold.
It is so cold.
Then, when he sent his version of the voiceover, I replaced all the lines. Overall, this video worked really well. And after editing the effects, subtitles, transitions, and all the rest, I was done by the end of the working day.
I've finished the edit. I think 9 to 5 is a very good idea. Anyone out there looking to do freelance editing, 9 to 5, make it a normal working day. It's helpful.
Dan sent the payment through almost immediately after receiving the video, which shows to me that as a creator, he's got a healthy respect for the editor. And we love to see that. Good job, Dan. I had a few minutes left in the day, but I decided to end it early and relax for the rest of the evening. Day 3 was all about the grind. Now, I'm not one to typically back the grind set mindset, but today was one of those days that just got me sat from 9 to 5 grinding. I had a second job from Dantic, as well as a potential thumbnail job. But these thumbnail guys were doing some rigorous screening. And did I mention the price per thumbnail?
$15. Just for some context, the going rate for a thumbnail is probably 10 times that. It's like $150 for a good thumbnail.
So for 15 minutes, I made my own little fake table tennis thumbnail and sent that as my portfolio. Hopefully, this won't be a total waste of time. Doing Dan's work was essentially the same as yesterday. I did a loose structure, a voiceover,
The biggest problem I faced in this challenge.
sent him a draft, and then got the final footage to work with. Because I'm an adult, I unfortunately have to also look after myself whilst working by myself. So things like washing up do have to happen.
Oh, I love being an adult.
But lucky for me, I have the power of editing on my side. So we'll just, Yep.
Voila.
Oh, I wish I could do that with these jobs. But unfortunately for me, the reality is that I'd have to return to the grind for the next 5 hours. The thumbnail guys got back to me asking for a color theory test as another part of the screening process, which at this point for $15 per thumb feels a little bit silly. But I did it anyway to test my skills and hopefully wow them. It's 5:33 and the day is done. After a couple of revisions and 2 versions of the short I've made, Dan is finally happy with what I've sent over. So with $175 in the bag, I say goodnight and head off for the evening. Up nice and early, I was feeling good. I'd made over $300 within just 2 days of working with this guy. The first thing I see when I turn on my PC is feedback from the color theory test. And, yeah.
Turns out that I'm not the color theory expert that I thought I was.
So, like the 2 days before, I cracked on with yet another Dantic video. Structure, voiceover, send, receive, and of course, edit! It was a simple formula, but it worked. Exercise is very important when you become a gaming chair potato for a week. Please ignore these shoes, they're my rowing shoes. Don't make fun of them, please. Thank you. I was telling my new friend Savvy about the job that I'd been doing, and he thought it'd be a good idea to celebrate with pasta from my local Italian. And you know what? He was right. With a belly full of the greatest pasta ever made, I came back to editing, only to have received potentially the biggest job of this whole challenge.
I've just landed possibly a $500 deal with the same guy. Fortunately, he's just been a really awesome guy to work for, so I feel quite lucky. But at the same time, I think there's reason for this happening. Put a lot of effort into that show reel. He has now seen the show reel. He's mentioned the show reel for this next project, saying that he wants exactly that. So it's just about giving it time to find that audience. And now the audience has been found. I'm making $500 off of one project.
The tricky part about this was that it was long form, and I only had a day and a half left. So the plan? Well, brute force editing. Just sit my butt down and edit until I can edit no more.
I have so much editing to do.
So I finished the last short for him and began on the new project.
Starting the new project right now. The time is 3:14. I've got another 2 hours. Should just be able to get like a lay of the land with this video. See what's going to be possible to do within a day.
In the last couple of hours, I managed to get a really good chunk of this long form video done. And thank God I did this, because the last day would prove to be the toughest yet. See you tomorrow. The final day has arrived, and I met it nice and early. Last night I sent Dan a small test render of the clips I'd edited, and he loved it. So today I was setting my path and I knew exactly what I had to do. I checked YT jobs one last time.
Let's check YT jobs. Nothing. Okay.
Yep. The truth is, with YT jobs you need a portfolio backing you up to make any kind of immediate impression. So at this point I can say it's a no-go for me, at least in this challenge. To my surprise, I do see a review of my editing from none other than my new buddy Savvy.
That's what a lovely dude.
Respect to him, looking out for a fellow editor and wanting nothing in return. You gotta love it. Now I had a lot to do. The remainder of the heavy visual effects, like making things blend in with After Effects.
Yeah, but have you ever played Halo in the toilet position?
Tracking head movements.
The CPU's going to carry this thing through.
Creating animated scorecards.
Adam won the first game. Let's go to the next one.
Then, on top of all of this, sound effects. Then, on top of all of that, subtitles.
So far so good. I've done a massive chunk of editing today. Look at this. I started the day having done about that much, and now I've done an extra that much. I've only got that much more to do.
It was a lot, and I didn't have very long left to do this. But if you've seen my last challenge, then you'll know that when the pressure's on, I really come into my own. And with my editing cap well and truly on, I was determined. Whether you like it or not, this video is going to be finished today, and I'm coming away with $500.
Take a look at this timeline. Look at that. That's 8 minutes.
After a whole week of grinding, searching for jobs, writing scripts, doing thumbnails, shorts, and even making friends, the only thing left to do now was cross the finish line. In this last hour, I channeled the inner editing beast. Like Kratos, I clicked both sticks in, baby. I thought of the pirate captain man in Rust, the random dude I spoke to in Discord, the bagel I ate for breakfast, all of it pushing me on. And with 40 minutes left, I was done.
What a week. I think if I've learned anything from this week, it's that you've got to spend time doing your show reel. You've got to show off your skills, the ones that you enjoy using, because if you're patient with it, someone will watch it and think, that's perfect for what I need. That's exactly what happened with that guy Dantic. And that show reel turned out to be an absolute godsend for it, because I got paid $500 for that video. $500, and that's only a day's work. There is an elephant in the room, which is that I have had years of experience editing. Not that anyone could actually tell that from the outset, so I managed to put myself in those positions naturally, and I found all those jobs naturally. So it is just a little bit unfair in that sense, but the point of the challenge is that I didn't have anything to suggest that I was actually good at editing other than my show reel, and that was it, my profile, which was an AI picture. It was so obviously an AI picture.
Anyone can do this kind of editing, which is why I've made a course specifically designed for those people who are wanting to learn. A course that will take you from beginner to pro in Premiere Pro in no time at all. Then you yourself can start your own career in video editing. You can find out more with the link in the description or just head to storesar.com.
And honestly, my one secret, and this isn't a sell, was my presets. I used them for everything. They were just unbelievably useful, just dragging and dropping constantly. Fortunately for you, they're for sale. And I'm adding new stuff to my store all the time, so go check it out if you want.
All right, so what about the numbers? So in the first video, we made $150. On the second video, we made $175. The third, $150 again. And then the last one, $500. Overall, that's $975. That's just under $1,000 in total for literally 5 days of work. I think that's pretty incredible. But the question now is, what do I spend it on? I don't know. I mean, that's a big chunk of money. I could get like a lifetime of Storyblock subscription, or all of my presets, you know, a few times over. I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Nothing better than supporting your favorite charity.
Let's go tell these guys who I really am and hope that it's a massive thing, because I'm a huge YouTuber. I'm famous, baby. I'm at least Z-list. I'm on famousbirthdays.com. God, Jesus. I'm famous. So yeah, let's go tell these guys. Let's go see how that goes.
Hello?
Hello?
How you doing, man?
Dan, I gotta tell you
We
something. I gotta tell you something, Dan.
What? Oh my god, I know that voice.
Yeah.
No, man! Oh, part of me is really happy, man, because you're like my fucking hero, man. But there's another part of me now which is thinking, I thought I found my editor.
We'll find you an editor, dude.
No, man! Why is it gonna be you?
Dude, it was such a pleasure working for you. You were like the coolest dude. I loved it.
No, this is Finzar! Oh, sorry, I'm fangirling a little bit here because I'm like, I am #1 Finzar fan. I'll just let you know. All right.
That's nice.
You can make a video. You can make a video.
Yeah.
If I can say get out of here in the outro.
Dude, I was gonna ask you that exact thing.
Can I do the Finzar?
I would love that so much.
Let me do a deep breath.
Yeah. Give it like a good.
Okay, here we go.
There it is.
Get out of here!
Yeah. Oh, it's perfect. That was perfect.